The life in the hereafter. What does the Quran say? Translation of Jahan Ifada by Jaz Rasul. Ghulam Ahmad Parwez 1969. 12. The concept of the hereafter. As you have seen in the previous chapters, Deen is based on the working of the law of requital, and the natural consequence of believing in the working of the law of requital is to have conviction of life in the hereafter. Regarding this, it is important we understand fully the meaning of the term akhirat. Akhiran is such a thing which is the last stage in a series, and the stage that comes next is unlike the previous stages. Therefore, akhirat will be the start of a new series after the end of the previous series, with a proviso that the latter will be different from the former. In this regard, the word akaran. Note the difference in spelling I replaced with a, will be the term used for everything which is different from other things. Takhir is the opposite of takadam. Takadam means something which happens before, whereas takhir will mean something which happens later. This is the reason in the Quran the word mustaqdimin is used in opposition to the word mustaqrin regarding the people who have gone before and those who came later, e.g., future generations. To us are known those of you who hasten forward, and those who lag behind. 15:24. Also in the Quran, akhira is used as the opposite of ajila. The latter means immediate benefits or advantages, and the former means long-term or future benefits. 17:18-19, 76. 27. In opposition to the word dunya, the Quran frequently quotes the term akhirat. From this it is evident that according to the Quran, 1. In the life of an individual, when compared with today, his tomorrow is his future i.e., akhirat. 2. In the life of nations, the generations coming after the present generation are included in their akhirat. 3. For mankind, the humanity to come will be akhirat. 4. For all of the above, the life after death is their akhirat. This is the reason that when it is said regarding the Mu'mineen that they believe in the hereafter, it is apparent that they are the people 1. Who prefer long-term benefits over short-term gains. 2. Each individual among them is concerned for his future. 3. As a collective nation, they not only care for their own interests, but they are also concerned about the interests of their future generations. 4. They not only have their own interests in mind, they wish to safeguard the interests of all mankind. 5. In front of them are not only the benefits of this life, but they also believe in the life of the hereafter. This is why they have firm conviction in the law of requital, i.e., that human deeds and their effects are not restricted to this life only, but these effects will continue beyond death as well. 6. When the Quran refers to life after death, it not only means an individual life after death, it declares the fall of nations to be a death also. Similarly, regarding nations which rise after their decline, the Quran also calls this life after deaths. The Quran also calls those people dead who do not make use of their intellect and reasoning. 7. In the same context, there are a few more terms and expressions quoted in the Quran, e.g., Qiyamah, Barat, Hash, etc., which are not exclusively connected to the life of the hereafter. They are also applicable to this life as well. These will be discussed later. I will add here that in the Quran, when the word akhirat is used, it will not only refer to the life in the hereafter. We will have to deduce from the above as to which meaning applies within the context of the verses. 12.1 Iman. Conviction. In the hereafter. At the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, the following is noted to be a characteristic of the Mu'mineen. And, in their hearts, have the assurance of the hereafter. Opening parenthesis. 2, 4. See also. 27, 3, 31, 4 to 5. 1. According to the Quran, there are 5 essentials of Iman. Conviction, i.e., by accepting these 5 conditions one enters into the category of the Mu'mineen. Iman in Allah, the messengers of Allah, the books of revelation, the angels, and the hereafter. 2. 177. Refusal to accept any one of these results is exclusion from the category of Mu'mineen. 4. 136. Opening parenthesis. 2. In some places only 2 constituents of this Iman are mentioned, i.e., Allah and the hereafter, e.g. 2. 232, 3. 114, 4. 39, 4. 59, 5. 69, 9. 99. In other places there is mention of Allah, the hereafter and the book. 4. 162. 3. In some places only denial of the hereafter is mentioned, e.g. 6. 113, 6. 150. And then it is declared that those people belong to hell. 7. 45. And whatever they earn will go wasted. 7. 147, 16. 22, 16. 60, 17. 10, 34. 8. 4. It is also stated categorically that only those can benefit from the Quranic guidance who have Iman in the hereafter. 17. 45. The one who does not have Iman in the hereafter can never get onto the straight path. 23. 74, 27. 4. 5. The Iman in Allah and the hereafter is only manifested by practical application by following the permanent values and getting others to do the same. 24. 2. 6. Through acquisition of knowledge and the use of intellect and reasoning, life in the hereafter can be understood. 27. 66, 2. 219, 7. Iblis, Satan, can only misguide those who do not have Iman in the hereafter. 34. 21. 8. Those who do not have Iman in the hereafter are declared as mushrik. 41. 6 to 7, 53. 27. 9. The messengers can only be models of conduct and a light on the paths of those who have Iman in the hereafter. 60. 6. 10. Those who do not have Iman in the hereafter, friendships cannot be maintained with them. 60. 13. 11. The one who does not have Iman in the hereafter, his good deeds are superficial and shallow only to impress people. 2. 264. This is because if one does not have Iman in the law of requital, then what can be the motive for doing these deeds other than to earn fame and admiration in this life? 12. A hypocrite says verbally that he accepts the hereafter, but in his heart he denies it. 2. 8. 13. The one who has Iman in the hereafter, he will be willing to go so far as to lay down his life for a higher purpose of life. In fact, he awaits such a moment where he can give his life to uphold a permanent value. The Jews could not do this. 2. 94. Opening parenthesis. 14. The one who has awareness of possible destruction in the future will adopt the right guidance. 11. 103, 74. 53. 15. Those who prefer to have immediate profits and rewards are those who choose to ignore the hereafter. 75. 20 to 21, 76. 27. 16. The reward in the hereafter is more profitable and multiplied. 12. 57. 17. By following the permanent values there are benefits to be had in this life as well as in the hereafter, meaning that both this life and the next life belong to Allah. 53. 25. All that is in the future belongs to Allah. 34. 1. Those who refuse to acknowledge the permanent values lose in this life as well as in the hereafter. 79, 25, 18. Those groups of people who claim to pursue a heavenly revolutionary system based on the permanent values will have to face very trying hardships and circumstances in the initial stages of their program, but they will ultimately succeed. 93, 6. 12.2 Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. Qiyamun means to stand up. If we add the word at the end, then this becomes Qiyamatan, which means something which stands up suddenly. The common belief about Qiyamah is that once this world ends, then a day of judgment will be established. As far as this world and the universe is concerned, no matter how long it lasts, it is going to end at some time in the future. The Quran gives an indication that this universe has been created for a stated term. And he has subjected the sun and the moon to his law. Each one runs its course for a term appointed. 35, 13. See also 31, 29, 39. 5. In another verse it is stated, "We created not the heavens, the earth, and all between them, but for just ends." Bil Haq. 15, 85. The Quran declares that the universe has been created bil haq, which is translated as for truth or just ends. The term bil haq is a very comprehensive term. Its meaning is also that this universe did not come about by chance, that its creation is according to a scheme with a particular aim. That is, its creation is purposeful. Further to this, it also means that it is not an illusion or a mirage as per Platonic philosophy, it is real and exists. According to the philosophy of Vedant, it is not Maya, deception. It is also neither a dream of Ishvar nor Layla. Sport, being played by Paramatma, God. Its existence is real and its creation is an established reality, but it has been created for a stated term. 46, 3. It is not infinite like Allah, and there was a time when it did not exist. Allah created it for a specific term, and after this it will come to an end. There are many verses in the Quran which, if their words were interpreted literally, not metaphorically, a picture is painted where celestial bodies will collide with each other and disintegrate. The sun and moon will lose their light and luster. Mountains will blow away like cotton wool and the earth will become dust. The seas will boil up and the atmosphere will change drastically. So much so, that the whole system of the universe will appear to be in chaos. It will be as if all this never even existed. But this does not have any relation to the law of requital. The law of requital is related to this, that man will exist after death whether this universe remains or disappears. Therefore, Qiyamah is not related to the disappearance of the universe, it is related to human resurrection. This resurrection of man is both in this life and in the hereafter. In this world, the tyrannical and oppressive powers suppress the poor and weak to such an extent that their resurrection or rising up cannot even be conceived, never mind take place. But gradually conditions change, till suddenly some revolutionary change occurs, when this same oppressed and enslaved humanity suddenly rises up for their rights. This is called Qiyamah in this world. If this revolution comes through the hands of those who follow the permanent values, then its characteristics will be, instead of tyranny and exploitation, the society will have justice and equality. Everyone will be rewarded exactly according to their effort and work. None will be exploited by another. Every matter will be decided according to the divine laws. Truth will prevail over evil. That type of revolution which succeeded under the leadership of the last messenger and his companions and whose example is unparalleled in history. The Quran has called this Al-Qiyamah, and its characteristics are discussed next. At the time of the last messenger of Allah, deen was non-existent in the world and everywhere had converted into religion. A result of this was that the followers of all religions claimed that they each had divine revelation in its real form. But their teachings differed from each other, and as a consequence they had mutual differences, since they did not have any external standard or criteria which could differentiate between truth and evil and remove the differences. This led to their mutual conflicts and wars. The Quran declared that through this revolution a criterion will be revealed which will make it clear as to which teaching is from Allah and which is fabricated by human hands. This way differences will disappear among mankind. As a result, when followers of different religions, Judaism, Christianity, Zoroastrians, etc., accepted Islam as revealed in the Quran, their differences disappeared. Wherever in the Quran it is stated that on Yawm al-Qiyamah the differences will disappear, this is what is referred to in the Arabic language, and in the Quran, Yawm does not mean a day only, it also means any time period, e.g., a term, a period, era, etc. In this regard, Yawm al-Qiyamah means that revolutionary era which was established according to the Quran. In this era, the differences between the followers of these religions disappeared once they accepted Islam. If, in these verses, we say, Yawm al-Qiyamah is after death, then what will be gained by removing these differences? In Surah Al-Baqarah it is quoted that the Jews say about the Christians that they don't have the true deen, and the same is claimed by the Christians against the Jews. Both claim to have books from Allah, and these books are different from each other. Under the circumstances, there is no possibility of the disappearance of these differences. The Quran states, the Jews say, the Christians have naught to stand upon, and the Christians say, the Jews have naught to stand upon, yet they study the same book. Like unto their word is what those say who know not. But Allah will judge between them in their differences on the day of judgment. 2. 113. During this revolutionary era, Allah will decide regarding the differences, i.e., the Quran will tell them regarding the correct teaching of Allah. In Surah Al-Imran, it is noted regarding the end of the Messenger Isa, Jesus, there is a strong difference between the Jews and the Christians. During the revolutionary era, Al-Qiyamah, the Christians will dominate the Jews, but after that the Quran states, I will make those who follow you superior to those who reject Iman, to the day of judgment. Yawm al-Qiyamah. Then you will all return to me, and I will judge between you of the matters wherein you dispute. 3. 55. If these people turn towards Allah, then there will be a resolution of the differences. In Surah Nisa, regarding the hypocrites, it says that in the war between the opponents and the Mu'mineen, the mark of these hypocrites is that they keep waiting to see who is going to win. Then when the Mu'mineen are victorious, the hypocrites rush forward and declare, we were with you all along. The Quran declares, these are the ones who wait and watch about you. If you do gain a victory from Allah, they say, were we not with you? But if the unbelievers gain a success, they say to them, did we not gain an advantage over you, and did we not guard you from the Mu'mineen? But Allah will judge betwixt you on the day of judgment. Al-Qiyamah. 4. 141. The Quran states, wait a while and let this revolution be established, then the hypocrites will be exposed and all matters will be decided. At this point, this reality will also be established that, and never will Allah grant to the unbelievers a way to triumph over the Mu'mineen. 4. 141. Between the followers of the various religions, and among the followers of a religion, umpteen differences had arisen. Regarding these differences, the Quran declares, it was after knowledge had been granted to them, that they fell into schisms. Verily Allah will judge between them as to the schisms amongst them, on the day of judgment. 10. 93. See also. 16. 124:32, 25:39, 3:45:17. Regarding various nations, their state is also that they invade others, and yet each one claims to be on the true path. At that time there was no external criteria to decide what was the true path. But now with Yawm al-Qiyamah, these matters will be made clear. Nor take your oaths to practice deception between yourselves, lest one party should be more numerous than another. For Allah will test you by this. And on the day of judgment he will certainly make clear to you the truth of that wherein you disagree. 1693. The nation which brings revolution has been made judicator of all nations and will stop in its tracks the nation which exceeds the declared limits. This way no nation will oppress or enslave another nation. Thus have we made of you an ummah justly balanced, that you might be witnesses over the nations. 2. 143. As previously noted, the Quran has stated that differences between the followers of different religions will be decided in Yawm al-Qiyamah. In Surah Hajj, the Quran makes this point with particular reference to Jews, Christians, Sabians and Magians and polytheists. Those who have Iman in the Quran, those who follow the Jewish scriptures, and the Sabians, Christians, Magians, and polytheists, Allah will judge between them on the day of judgment. 22:17. So much so that during this period this matter will also be decided as to whom man should have friendship with. The Quran has laid down fundamental criteria as to who should be considered to be friends and who should not. And that criteria is that those people who share the same Iman ideology, they are of us, whether you have any other mutual relationship with them or not. And if there is no common ideology of Iman, then regardless of whether they are parents, brothers and sisters, or even husbands and wives, they are strangers. This revolution defined and established the boundary between man and man. Regarding this matter, the Quran gives detailed guidance and then states, "Of no profit to you will be your relatives and your children on the day of judgment. Al-Qiyamah. He will judge between you. For Allah sees well all that you do." 63. Now in this period when the criteria for friendship has changed, it is of no benefit to be the father or son of someone. According to Allah's law, there will be a distance and differentiation between the two. This makes it clear that reference to Yawm al-Qiyamah means that revolutionary period which was established according to the Quran. In Surah Al-Baqarah in one place it is stated that in the eyes of the people who deny the divine laws, attraction for the material benefits of worldly life becomes many times multiplied and they resort to ridiculing the mu'mineen. The life of this world is alluring to those who reject Iman, and they scoff at those who believe. But the righteous will be above them on the day of judgment. Al-Qiyamah. For Allah bestows His abundance without measure as per His law. 212. People who observe the divine laws will be superior on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Allah according to His law bestows far more sustenance than human scales could anticipate. Undoubtedly after death, however, the righteous will be loftier in the hereafter than those who deny the divine laws. But it appears in the above verse that this superiority is related to this life. Therefore, this Yawm al-Qiyamah refers to that period in which this revolution was about to happen. There are other verses in the Quran where it appears that Yawm al-Qiyamah means that revolution when one group rises up all of a sudden to topple an unjust system. In Surah Tatfif, this revolution is called Yawm-e-Azim and is explained as the day when all mankind will stand for the Rabb of the worlds. 83:6. This is that day or period when mankind will rise up to establish Allah's universal system of sustenance. Now we will come to those verses from which it is apparent that Yawm al-Qiyamah refers to resurrection after death. In Surah al-Baqarah there is reference to those people who believe in one part of the Quran and reject another part. Then is it only a part of the book that you believe in, and do you reject the rest? But what is the reward for those among you who behave like this but disgrace in this life? And on the day of judgment, al-Qiyamah, they shall be consigned to the most grievous penalty. 285. Here the word Qiyamah is used in contrast to Hayat al-Dunya or Dunya. Life of this world. See verses 7, 32, 11, 60, 11, 98 to 99, 22, 9, 28, 61. In some verses Qiyamah has been used without any specific reference, but it is understood from the context to refer to the hereafter. For example, 1. On the day of Qiyamah Allah will not speak to them, and neither will they get sustenance, for them is a severe penalty. 2. 174, 3. 76. 2. On the day of judgment, those who are dishonest will have the dishonesty exposed, and everyone will get full recompense for the deeds, and none will be treated unjustly. 3. 161. 3. The prayers of Mu'mineen do not humiliate us on the day of judgment. 3. 194. 4. On the day of judgment, the messenger Isa, Jesus, will give evidence against his people that they invented beliefs which he did not give them. 4. 159. 5. It will not be possible to avoid the penalty on the day of judgment by giving wealth and riches in exchange. 5. 36. 6. Allah will gather you all up together on the day of judgment. Details will be provided under hash in the next section. 6. 12, 45, 26. See also 17, 97. 7. The people who invent lies and then attribute these to Allah, what do they think regarding the day of judgment? 10. 60. Here the day of judgment means the law of requital. 8. The people who misguide others will on the day of judgment carry not only the burden of their own crimes, but also the burdens of those whom they misguided. 16. 25, 29. 13. 9. In Surah Nahl, after discussing the destruction of previous nations, it is said that on the day of judgment, they will be humiliated and disgraced. 16. 26 to 27. 10. At this time every individual is carrying the record of his deeds like a scroll wrapped up and hanging round his neck. On the day of judgment this will be opened up and shown to him. 17. 13 to 14. This could mean these results may manifest here in this life or later in the hereafter. 11. Those people whose deeds are wasted, for them on the day of judgment the scales of balance will not be raised. 18. 105. This can also mean the time when the deeds manifest themselves, wherever that is, in this life or in the hereafter. 12. In Surah Maryam it is noted, and every one of them will come to him singly on the day of judgment. Opening parenthesis. 19. 95. This verse points to a great reality and will be dealt with in more detail later. At this point it is enough to say that it can mean that on the day of judgment man will be alone, and none of his earthly relations, i.e., his wife, children, relatives, friends, even those who could give him security, none of them will be with him. He will be alone in the divine court. It will also mean that those things which man called mine will all remain in this world, and be left behind, e.g., my wealth, children, body, even life, and only the human personality or self will go forward. The next life only deals with the human self, known as I, and not with mine. Mine includes all additional things. The personal thing which a human has, is only the I, and this is what is going to proceed to the next life. 13. On the day of judgment, criminals will be present with the burdens of their crimes. 20. 100 to 101. And to weigh their crimes the balances of justice will be raised up and none will be treated unjustly. Every iota of a human deed will manifest itself. 21. 47. 14. Though social crimes can be punished in this life according to the prevalent system of justice in a nation-state, this however cannot avert the punishment of the hereafter to come for these crimes. This is because the commission of deeds which are against the law has effects on the human self which cannot be removed by worldly punishment. They will be faced with the outcome of this on the day of judgment, and that punishment will be far greater than the punishment in this life. 25. 69. 15. On the day of judgment man's friends will become his enemies. 29. 25. 16. The loss is theirs, who when the deeds manifest themselves on the day of judgment, will see what great damage they did both to themselves and to others that they dealt with. There can be no greater loss than this. 39. 15, 42, 45. 17. Protection from the destructive consequences of wrong deeds can be availed through following the divine laws. Those people who try to seek protection by means other than this, their efforts will not be successful. 39. 24. 18. The humiliation of the day of judgment will darken their faces. 39. 60. 19. Those who are in peace on the day of judgment, nothing can compare to this state. 41. 40. 20. On the day of judgment all of man's secrets will be exposed. 58. 7. 21. In Surah Al-Qiyamah, the day of judgment is referred to as an evidence and in reply to the question as to when the day of judgment will come. The details given in the Quran may refer to some physical changes taking place in the universe. These references can also be with regard to the revolution which occurred after the emergence of Islam in Arabia and Persia, and could also be a reference to the day of judgment after death. 75. 1 to 15. 22. In Surah Zumar it is stated, on the day of judgment the whole of the earth will be but his handful, and the heavens will be rolled up in his right hand. 39. 67. If we take the literal meaning of this verse, then this could be a reference to some great change in the physical universe. However, if we take the metaphorical meaning, it will mean that in this heavenly revolution which will take place through the hands of Momineen, that politics of the world and religion will disappear and earthly affairs related to human economic life and heavenly values will become one, and be under the control of one center. 23. In Surah Bani Israel it is stated, there is not a population but we shall destroy it before the day of judgment. Yawm al-Qiyamah, or punish it with a dreadful penalty. That is written in the Book of Laws. 17. 58. The common view of this verse as noted before, is that before the day of judgment the universe will come to an end. However, another view is that it means that it is Allah's immutable law, that whichever nation adopts a wrong system, it is either destroyed completely or suffers such a decline that it cannot rise up again. In this verse, Yawm al-Qiyamah means that revolution which has been referred to previously. It is also possible that the revolution referred to here is the one which took place through the Momineen in Arabia at the time of the last messenger, in which the opposing nations were either destroyed or made ineffective, and subsequently replaced by the Islamic system. We often use the phrase, you cannot win till even the day of judgment, meaning it is either impossible to win or not likely for a long time. In the Quran this term Qiyamah has also been used in this context. For example, in Surah Al-Imran, Allah has addressed the Messenger Isa. Jesus, I will make those who follow you superior to those who reject Iman, to the day of judgment. 3:55. Historically, Christian superiority and control over the Jews is an established fact. However, it cannot be said that this superiority will remain forever, so here the reference to the Day of Judgment could simply mean a very long time. In Surah Maida it is said about the various sects of Christianity that their mutual rivalry will continue till the Day of Judgment. 5:14. The same is said about the Jews as well. 5-64. In Surah Qasas, it is stated that if Allah turns day into night and keeps everything dark till the Day of Judgment, then who can remove this darkness and bring out the sunshine? 28:71. It is clear that the Day of Judgment here means forever. In Surah Ahqaf the Quran states that people who ask for help from false deities, the dead, they will not answer them till the Day of Judgment. 46:51. In Surah Qam it says regarding the evildoers, have these people got a written decree from us that all their decisions will be accepted? 68:39. Here it also means forever. In some verses the Quran has used Yawm al-Ba'ath in place of Yawm al-Qiyamah. This will be discussed later. 12.3 Assembling people. This is also a comprehensive term of the Quran like Akhirat, Sa'at, Qiyamat and Ba'ath. Its basic meaning is to assemble people and lead them in some direction. In this context, this term is also applicable to armies in a battle or prisoners of war. Ma'asha is the place where such an assembly takes place. In Surah Naml the army of Solomon is mentioned. And before Solomon were marshaled his hosts. 27:17. During the first clash between Muslims and Jews, as a consequence of which the latter were forced to leave Medina, the Quran called this the first 59:2. In Surah Al-Imran, in relation to the Battle of Badr it is declared, say to those who reject truth, soon will you be vanquished and gathered together to hell, an evil bed indeed to lie on. 3:11. After this, the meeting in the battlefield between the two armies, that of the Mu'mineen and their opponents, is mentioned. The word is used in reference to the opponents who were taken as prisoners of war and gathered together to be taken away after their defeat. In the Quran this term is also used for the appearance of results in the hereafter as well. Two fundamental points need to be explained and understood here. 1. As has been discussed previously. Chapter 5, going to Allah, does not mean that he lives at some place and that after death man will go to that place to meet him. Allah is free from the constraints of time and space and therefore the question of going to him does not arise. This actually means that the results of our deeds will show up as per the law of requital whether in this life or in the hereafter. 2. In order to help us understand, the Quran sometimes presents a court scene e.g. there is a court where a defendant, claimant, police, witnesses etc. are present. The case and evidence is presented. The record is brought forward. The list of charges is read out and the defendant is given a chance to defend himself. Then a decision is reached by the court and the criminal is led towards hell. All this is to make us understand the working of the law of requital by relating it to the way decisions are made in a court of law in this life. It does not mean that after death, one day all human beings from the beginning to the end of time will be assembled and their verdict for reward and punishment will be announced. Wherever in the Quran the assembling of people is mentioned in front of Allah, it means the manifestation of the results of our deeds as per the law of requital. Therefore this term refers either to the clash between evil and truth in this life or to the manifestation of results in the hereafter. It will become clear from the verses quoted in the next section. 12.4 The Day of Assembly. 1. Allah will assemble them on this day about which there is no doubt, and everyone will be recompensed for the deeds and none will be dealt with unjustly. 3. 9, 3, 25, 6, 22, 6, 51, 10, 28, 15, 25, 34, 40, 36, 32, 2. This is called Yawm al-Qiyamah. 6, 12, 17, 97, and also Akhirat. 11, 103, and Yawm Mashhud. Opening parenthesis. 11, 103. 3. In Surah Dukhan it is called Yawm al-Fasl i.e. the Day of Decision. 44, 40, 77, 38, and in Surah Tagabun it is named Yawm al-Tagabun. 64, 9, i.e. the day when by comparison everyone will find out how much is lacking or deficient from their self. 4. Whether you are murdered or die a normal death, you will all be gathered together towards Allah. 3. 158. 5. The day they will be assembled, they will feel as if they were only on earth for but an hour and they will recognize each other. 10. 45. 6. In Surah Ibrahim it is stated that they will all be marshaled together before Allah. 14. 21. This will happen on the day when the earth and the heavens will change. 14. 48. 7. All these criminals and their evil companions will be gathered together and will be brought to hell on their knees. 19. 68. The color of their eyes will change due to the terror of that day. 20. 102. 41. 19. They and their false deities will be brought together. 25. 17. All people with the same beliefs will be grouped together. 25. 34, 37. 22, 46. 6. 8. From every nation a group which used to reject the signs of Allah will be gathered and they will be divided into different ranks. 27. 83. 9. The Mu'mineen will be together as respected guests of Allah while criminals will be directed towards hell. 19. 85-86. 10. This type of assembling is not at all difficult for Allah. 50. 44. 11. In some places hash also means to just rise e.g. in Surah Taha a man who goes against the divine laws will have his sustenance restricted and will be raised up blind on the day of judgment. 20. 124-125. 12. In Surah Mu'minun only this much is stated. And he has multiplied you through the earth, and to him shall you be gathered back. 23. 79. See also. 67. 23-24. 13. In Surah Kahf in relation to the wall erected by Zulkarnain to try and stop the attacks from Gog Magog, it is stated that there will be a time when this wall will fall and then these nations will attack each other wave upon wave. Then the Quran states that we will gather them together in one place. 18. 99. It appears that this gathering will happen in this life when the armies of various nations will confront each other in a great war. After this, hell will be unveiled. This hell appears to be a metaphorical explanation for the ensuing large-scale destruction in the world. To conclude, hash means both the mutual clash of nations or parties in this life and after death. It refers to the visible results under the law of requital. 12.5 Barat, removing obstacles. This term is also part of the same series of terms noted previously. The basic meaning of ba'adan is to remove something which prevents the free movement of something and thus facilitate its movement. In the Quran this is used in various contexts. 1. When a party of truth rises up in a society to bring revolution based on the permanent values, the opposing parties become a stumbling block in their path and thus try to stop the revolution. This term is used to describe removing these opposing parties and paving the path of revolution. Do they not think that they will be called to account on a mighty day, a day when all mankind will stand before the Rabb of the worlds? 83. 4-6. These nations representing the capitalist system are obstructing the Quranic system of sustenance in the world. What does it not occur to them that our law of requital is so powerful and overwhelming that it will remove them from the path like a piece of straw? This will happen at that time when mankind rises to establish a universal system of sustenance. 83. 6. 2. This term is also used regarding nations which rise up and resurrect themselves and gain a new life, nations which are stagnant for some time and rise up again after removing their impediments and obstacles. In Surah Al-Baqarah, regarding Bani Israel in Babylon, the Quran says that after remaining dead for 100 years they were resurrected and given a fresh life. 2. 259. This term is also used for giving someone responsibilities and then sending him off, e.g., the messenger of Allah. 3. Death is a stumbling block in the movement and action of man. By removing it, this individual is given life again. How one gets this new life will be discussed later at its proper place. At this moment all I want to explain is that for this also the term Ba'ath is used. Yawm al-Qiyamah is also called Yawm al-Ba'ath or Yawm Yabathan. This is referred to in many places in the Quran, and at every place it can be understood in the context in which it is used. Some examples are: in Surah An'am it is stated that Allah will definitely give life to the dead. 6:36. Kafir, people who do not believe in the law of requital, claim that there is no possibility of any resurrection after death. 11:7. They swear over and over again that the one who has died can never be resurrected. Allah says this is wrong. He has promised that it is a reality and his promises are true. The promise of Allah is called divine law. 16:38. So this will of a surety take place. They are told logically how it is possible. 22:5. Allah will certainly give life to those who are in the graves. 22:7. Their objection was that once our bodies decompose and are dust, how can we get a new life? 17:98-23. 37. What? Will we rise up as a new creation? In reply, the Quran says that your creation and resurrection is like one individual creation and recreation. 31:28. This process of getting another life is called Yawm al-Ba'ath. 30:56. It is also called Yawm al-Din, i.e., the time for the manifestation of the results of human deeds. 38:78-79, 15. 36-38. And Yawm al-Qiyamah. 17:62-23. 16. And Yawm al-Kharuj. 50:42. In other words, the day when they will all rise, and will be told about the deeds in this life. 58:6. 58:18. No one has any knowledge as to when they will be raised. 27:65. Neither do the dead have any connection with this life, as there is a screen behind them once they die and leave this life. 23:100. The messenger Isa, Jesus, said that I have protection from the day I was born and the day I will die and the day I will be resurrected and get a new life. 19:33. The messenger Ibrahim prayed that when I get a new life, I don't wish to be humiliated. 26:87. In the Quran there is an event discussed in detail about the people of the cave. These were believers who in the initial days of their struggle, when they saw that they could not fight against the oppressive powers, escaped to a cave to hide and prepare themselves by building up their strength. When they saw that the conditions outside had become favorable, they emerged. The Quran has called this as a resurrection as well. 18:19. The word is also used in connection with awakening in the morning after sleeping during the night. 6:60. 12.6 Nofika saw, blowing the trumpet or getting new life. This term has been referred to in the Quran in the context of the hereafter. The word saw has two meanings. 1. In olden times a bugle was blown to announce the commencement of battle, and this was called saw. When this term is used in relation to events in this world, then this means the start of conflict between the forces of truth and evil. 2. The word surat means a figure or the outline of a thing. Its plural is tsoran. This means human figures or bodies. Nofika means to blow, and nofika saw means to blow fresh life into human beings. Metaphorically, when applied to enslaved and deprived nations, this means giving them fresh life. When the dead are given life, this is termed as nofika saw. By reading the verses in the Quran in which nofika saw is mentioned, by reflection and reasoning one can understand the context. For example, in the case of Gog-Magog as mentioned previously, this term nofika saw is used. 18:99. This will be the bugle blown at the start of a world war among the nations. Further examples are as follows. In Surah An'am it is stated, His word is the truth. His will be the dominion the day the trumpet will be blown. 6:74. Control will revert to his authority, i.e., decisions will be according to his laws. In Surah Taha, the day when the trumpet will be sounded. That day we shall gather the sinful, blear-eyed, with terror. 20:102. In Surah Momin it is noted that when the trumpet will be blown all relationships will come to an end and no one will care about each other anymore. 23:101. In another verse it is stated that when the first trumpet will be blown then everyone in the universe will lose their senses due to fear. 27:87. Then the second one will be blown and everyone will rise up and will be looking around. 39:68. After the blowing of the trumpet, the dead will rise quickly and go towards Allah. 36:51. As if there is someone with them, like a policeman, and there will be a witness or guardian with them. This is also called Yam al-Wa'id. 50:20-21. At one place nofika saw is mentioned, and together with this a great upheaval in the heavens and the earth. Mountains is mentioned. This is called al-Waqia. 69:13-17, 78. 18-21. In Surah Madatha instead of saw the word Nakor is used with the same meaning. 74:8. In the Quran when the destruction of former nations is referred to, often this is preceded with a big shriek or deafening blast, and then the nation lies in ruins. In the case of nations which were destroyed by physical events, e.g., an earthquake or volcanic eruption, this loud noise or blast could be related to the physical event, otherwise this can mean some sign prior to the destruction, which indicates an imminent disaster. In Surah Yasin it is stated, It was no more than a single mighty blast, and behold, they were like ashes, quenched and silent. 36:29. See also 36:49-38. 15. The same thing is noted in the case of the nation of Samud. 54:31. In another verse with nofika saw there is the mention of one big blast, and it is also stated that this will be A single one, it will be no more than a single blast when low. They will all be brought up before us. 36 to 53. See also 37 to 19, 50 to 42, 79 to 13-14.